He was in Chile to get to the bottom of the crisis. After his report hit the Holy Father's desk, the country's bishops offered to resign. Now Chile's two cardinals are in the crosshairs of the investigation. Crux Vatican correspondent Ines San Martin has breaking news about that part of the story, and she joins us now. Ines, thank you as always for being with us. What can you report about Cardinal Ricardo Azadi, the Archbishop of Santiago?
Thank you, Liz. What we can report right now is that Azadi is being investigated by the local prosecutor Emiliano Arias, who in the recent weeks has raided the archives of the Diocese of Santiago, not once, but actually twice, in connection to allegations of the former chancellor of the diocese, who's been accused of sexually abusing at least 7 children, 5 of whom were his nephews.
Ines, there's even more history here. The Cardinal has presented his resignation to the Pope twice, but so far it hasn't been accepted. Why not?
Personally, Liz, what I believe is Pope Francis is trying to, first of all, get to the bottom of it all. At this point, we have to remember what we have on Cardinal Azadi are allegations. We don't yet have evidence that he is in fact guilty. However, we do know from Pope Francis himself that crimes have been committed in Chile, by the Chilean Church in regards to cover-up, including the destruction of evidence. When it comes to Azadi specifically, I believe that what Pope Francis is trying to do is secure a good replacement. Right now, we've seen him appoint 5 different apostolic administrators in 5 Chilean dioceses. We haven't yet seen the Pope create new bishops or transfer bishops that are already existent. That, in my belief, is why Pope Francis is taking so long.
Cardinal Francisco Javier Errázuriz, he's one of the 9 cardinals who advised the Pope on Vatican reform, and he's also facing accusations in connection with the crisis. What's the latest regarding him?
The latest on him, Liz, is that he too is being investigated together with Cardinal Azadi. We need to remember that Errázuriz is the predecessor of Azadi. He's currently in his mid-80s. However, he was the head of the Diocese of Santiago for some 10 years, including during the time that Chile's most notorious pedophile priest, Father Fernando Karadima, was found guilty by the Vatican of sexually abusing minors.
Ines, there's so much more to the story. You're also reporting that the prosecutor is interviewing potential witnesses. What's the significance of that development?
I believe, Liz, that tells us that the investigation is a lot more advanced than simply raiding archives from the church. We're seeing a man in Arias, the prosecutor, who's already identified different people he needs to talk to try to get to the bottom of what's going on. And just reading papers that he's collected are not enough. He's definitely pushing forward with the investigation, and I personally am very interested to see what he finds and what is disclosed of this investigation.
Ines, you had a conversation with Juan Carlos Cruz. He's the abuse survivor who met with the Pope. What's he telling you?
What he's telling me, Liz, is that despite it all, he actually has hope that things are going to change in the Catholic Church in Chile. And specifically, he also told me that he trusts Pope Francis. As you said, he met with the Pope some months ago. He didn't disclose any of this, but about 2 months ago, when they gave a press conference, it was Juan Carlos Cruz and 2 other victims or survivors of Father Karadima told journalists that the Pope had asked them to continue to communicate with him and to continue to provide him with information. He told me yesterday is that he's hopeful for what's happening and for what's going to be done.
Ines, really quickly, what's next?
It's almost impossible to guess. I do believe several more bishops will see the resignations being accepted. I do believe we're going to see survivors of clerical sexual abuse in Chile continuing to come forth under the leadership, I have to say, of people like Juan Carlos Cruz, who against the odds continues to fight both public opinion in many times, but specifically the rejection from the Catholic Church. We know for a fact that several other dioceses have been raided in recent days, and of course, all of it related to allegations of clerical sexual abuse. And we're going to see what comes out from those investigations too.
All right, Ines, thank you so much. Always great talking to you.
Thank you.